Most people fail not because they're weak, but because they have no vision. If you don't know where you're going, how will you ever reach success? Success starts in your mind, before it ever shows in your life. You can't hit a target you can't see. That's why vision is everything. I'm not here to talk about luck. I'm here to talk about the real rule of success. Vision. I want to talk about success, and the first rule is simple. You must have a vision. If you don't know what you want out of life, you'll drift like a ship without direction. You might keep moving, but you'll never reach anywhere meaningful. I was born in a small town in Austria, just after the Second World War. Life was tough, and opportunities were few. My parents wanted me to live a quiet, normal life, maybe become a farmer or work in a local factory. But deep down I knew that wasn't my path. I felt like I was meant for something different, something bigger. Then one day at school, I saw a film about America. Skyscrapers touching the clouds, massive bridges, wide freeways, energy everywhere. I thought, that's where I belong. That's my world. A few days later, I passed a shop window and saw a magazine cover. A man named Reg Park, 3-time Mr. Universe and a movie star who played Hercules. Right there I found my blueprint. I said to myself, I want to be like him. A bodybuilding champion, a movie star, and a successful man. And from that day forward, my direction was crystal clear. I knew exactly what I wanted. The only question was how to get there. When you have a vision, the hard work doesn't feel like a burden anymore. Every rep, every workout, every drop of sweat becomes part of your mission. People used to ask, Arnold, why are you always smiling while training 6 hours a day? I said, because every lift, every set brings me closer to my goal. At 20 years old, I became the youngest Mr. Universe ever. Not because I was special, but because I was focused. You see, when you know your purpose, even the struggle feels like joy. Most people never find that. Studies say around 70–75% of people don't even like their jobs. They just work because they have to, not because they love it. They drift, doing what others expect, not what they truly want. But when you have a vision, life feels alive. You wake up with energy. Later in life, when I entered politics, I had the same approach. I decided I would become the governor of California. And I did. People said, start smaller, it's impossible. 2 months later, I was elected governor of the largest state in America. Why? Because the vision was clear. So the first rule of success, have a vision. The second rule, don't listen to the naysayers. All my life, I heard people say, you can't do that. It's impossible. When they said no, I heard yes. When they said impossible, I heard possible. People said, a bodybuilder can't become an actor. I worked day and night, studied English, took acting classes, trained relentlessly. My first movie flopped, but I didn't stop. Then came Conan the Barbarian, a global hit. The director even said, if Arnold didn't exist, we'd have to build one. The very things people mocked, my body and my accent, became my greatest strengths. Then came the Terminator. And suddenly that machine-like accent made the film iconic. So don't listen to the ones who say you can't. Most of the time, they're only talking about their own limits, not yours. So the first rule of success is simple. Have a vision. A vision so strong that it pulls you out of bed in the morning, pushes you through pain, and keeps you going even when everyone else would quit. But vision alone isn't enough. The second rule is, don't listen to the naysayers. Throughout my entire life, the world kept telling me what I couldn't do. Your body is too big for films. Your accent will never work. You'll never make it in America. You can't go into politics? Everywhere I went, someone had an opinion about what was impossible. But instead of letting their voices break me, I reversed their meaning. When they said no, I heard yes. When they said impossible, I heard possible. When they said don't try, I said watch me. Naysayers talk based on their limits, not yours. If I had listened to them, I would still be standing in that small village wondering what my life could have been. The third rule of success is this. Work like hell. There is no shortcut. There is no magic pill. There is no elevator to success. You have to climb every single step. In my bodybuilding days, people saw the victories, the trophies, the stage lights, the applause, but they didn't see the 5 a.m. workouts, the endless reps, the days when my muscles screamed but my vision was louder. I trained 6 hours a day because I knew every rep was a step toward my goal. When you love your purpose, hard work becomes a privilege. You don't complain. You attack the day with excitement because you know where you're heading. The fourth rule is, don't be afraid to fail. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the pathway to it. My first movie flopped. My first attempts in Hollywood were laughed at. My accent was mocked. My name was called too strange. But every failure taught me something about discipline, about patience, about resilience. And each time I fell, I got up stronger, smarter, and more determined. Remember, if you're afraid to fail, you'll never take the first step, and you'll never take the big leap. The fifth rule is, push through the pain, whether it's the pain of hard work, the pain of rejection, or the pain of loneliness. You must push through, because pain is temporary but greatness lasts forever. There were days in training when my body begged me to stop. But I didn't stop, because champions do what others won't. That's why I spent years helping communities, supporting after-school programs, guiding young athletes, and working on causes bigger than myself. Because real success is not measured in money or fame. It's measured in the lives you touch. So let me leave you with this. You have only one life. Don't waste it drifting. Don't waste it living someone else's dream. Don't waste it listening to voices that tell you to stay small. Build a vision so clear that you can see it even with your eyes closed. Work so hard that excuses never catch up with you. Ignore the doubters. Embrace the grind, and never ever be afraid to fail. Because once you commit to your vision, truly commit, the world cannot stop you. Your journey starts today. Your success begins with a vision.